Hello everyone, welcome back to our competitive analysis and strategy class. Today, we will discuss a very interesting topic which is known as emerging markets. Have you heard about this concept in the past? If not, well, this is a perfect moment to check, okay? So the first thing that I would like to go with is, well, you know what? Right now, things are changing quite fast in the business field. And a very good aspect that is changing it is actually markets. Okay, maybe you have had an approach of what's market, considering customers, maybe the economy, or maybe the combination of all those factors. Well, you're right. Okay, so it's important to know that there are specific countries and specific situations that are changing the perspective and the platform of competition. So let's take a look deeper into what is this concept, emerging markets. So first of all, let's start by defining, okay? As we can see here in the definition, it's usually considered a developing nation, okay? But of course, do not confuse yourself. Not all developing nations, okay, or in this path of becoming developed countries, okay, can be cataloged them. We have to consider that there are a lot of aspects that we also take into account, such as the growth, and of course, that somehow they have specific characteristics. Okay, so it's important that you know those characteristics, and of course, ask yourself why developed countries are moving or are trying to make negotiation with these underdeveloped countries. Okay, so once you define those benefits, then you can actually understand why do we have a negotiation with them. Another thing, okay, as I was mentioning, there are specific characteristics that we have to follow. The first thing is that they transition, okay, that they are moving into a developed economy. So as you can see here, you're making a negotiation with a country that somehow is in a transition, okay? Another thing is that it's known and it has been detected that they have a rapid growth, okay? They're growing, they are, the external infrastructure, okay, the foreign infrastructure, and of course the investment is growing. Another thing is the exposure. Be careful, because an emerging market could also mean a risk, okay? They are growing rapidly, okay, so that could be also, okay, a change of a perspective. So you need to know that maybe also that rapid change, you need to follow them, okay? Because if you're not able to follow that change, maybe you're gonna have a disadvantage rather than an advantage. And of course, as we mentioned, developed countries have a unique interest in making relationships with them because they already identify, they have specific characteristics, benefits, and of course, they are rapidly moving. So of course, if you see the future, you might be interested in making negotiations with them now, in which maybe they are underdeveloped countries, rather than once they are consolidated and established, it might be difficult, and of course there might be a lot of competition going on. So that's why an emerging market is becoming interesting, not just for businesses but also for other countries in general. Here, as we can take a look, there are top emerging markets, okay? As we can see here, the first thing that might be considered is the gross developed product, okay? And of course, as we can see here, there's like a very interesting fact, which is population, okay? Usually emerging markets are also related with big amounts of population. China and India, as we know, they have a good amount, okay, of this population in the world perspective, but also, okay, countries that maybe they are not big enough, but the number of transactions they have done in the past are making them also attractive. So the interesting fact, as we can see here, is that Mexico is still considered an emerging market. Of course, there are characteristics that maybe might change the perspective on emerging market. As Russia is currently having a problem and it's kind of like in war. So as we know, also political aspects could change or diminish the potential of a market. So one thing that we have to keep it clear, there are challenges involved, okay? Not everything is positive or everything has to be, we have to keep an objective perspective. What are the main challenges that you will face if you're trying to do a negotiation with them? Well, first of all, it's bureaucracy, okay? Countries, okay, may have a path that is slow or that is taking them too much time to do something. Okay, so you have to keep it clear that if you want to do a negotiation with them, it might take a while. The second thing, corruption. Okay, as we know, one of the main problems that emerging markets have, and specifically underdeveloped countries, is this part of corruption. You know that people are interested in having as much advantage as possible, so you have to be precautious about this. Of course, peace, okay, is something that maybe you will have a problem with because, again, as we mentioned, corruption might be involving a lack of peace. Taxes, as we mentioning, it's rapidly changing, so maybe taxes aren't going to be positive in the future. We might have to see the expectancy. And of course, that you need to follow regulations from those specific countries. Be careful because nowadays things are moving rapidly and of course it's becoming viral. So you have to know what are the things that you can do, but of course that you can't do, okay? With that aim and with that perspective, you have more chances of being successful in a foreign market, especially an emerging market. So a last thing is with BRICS, okay? And a very good example of an emerging market is actually BRICS, which is established by Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, as you can see here, they have increased their reputation, and nowadays all the countries are trying to join, such as Argentina, that is expected in 2024. And of course, what's happening is that they know what is the specialty and the benefit of each one. So they merge, and of course, even though that they are not geographically in the same place, they redefine what are the main needs and of course how each one can somehow intervene. So as you can see, this is a very fruitful and of course an advantage that countries are using, and of course it's also being transmitted to the businesses that are inside of those nations. So those important factors, knowing about emerging markets, can develop new strategies, and of course the alliances, we have to keep it of a good communication skills. Remember that negotiation and of course communicating with the other cultures might be challenging, and of course that the power of why they're unifying is to have more power and of course better prices. They're having more benefits in the short term. So I hope you like this video, and of course if you have any question, please let me know via Brightspace or of course using your institutional email. Thank you very much and have an excellent day. Bye bye.